Li Na issues high praise on Alexandra Eala and makes Australian Open prediction. Li Na fell in love with Alexandra Eala's attitude and personality during the MGM Macau Tennis Masters, as the Chinese tennis legend is tipping the Filipina to do well at the Australian Open. This past weekend, Macau hosted a mixed team exhibition tournament. Li, a former two-time Grand Slam champion and a former world number 2, was selected as the captain of team consisting of Eala, Junqing Shang and Hugo Humbert. In her Macau exhibition debut, Eala appeared in 2 matches. In a mixed doubles match, the 20-year-old teamed up with Shang and they were beaten 5-7, 6-7, 1 by Alejandro Davidovich Fokina and Wu Yibing. In case you missed it, Davidovich Fokina was slated to play alongside Mira Andreeva, but after the Russian fell ill and was unable to play, the organizers improvised, and that's how the Filipina ended up playing a match involving 3 men. The following day, Andreeva felt better and managed to play against Eala in a singles match. And although the 53rd-ranked Filipina picked up a 4-6, 2-6 loss to Andreeva, Captain Li was thrilled from what she saw from the Eastbourne runner-up. When Li won the 2011 Australian Open title, she became the first-ever Asian Grand Slam singles winner in singles. Li can do much better at the Australian Open in 2026. I remember first time I played 3rd round against Maria Sharapova in the Laver Arena. I was so nervous I didn't know if I could walk on the court. I really love her personality and she's played well, and she is also so young, but she's got a lot of experience. So I believe she can do it much better at the Australian Open, Li said about the 20-year-old Filipina after the MGM Macau Tennis Masters concluded. When the 2026 Australian Open kicks off, Eala will make her main draw debut at the tournament. In the last 3 years, the 20-year-old Filipina tried to make the Australian Open main draw through the qualifying event, but each time lost in the quali's first round. When legends speak, Li Na, Alexandra Eala, and a glimpse of the Australian Open's future. In tennis, praise from a legend carries a special weight. It is not the loud cheer of a crowd or the fleeting excitement of social media hype. It is recognition shaped by experience, struggle, and triumph. When Li Na, a trailblazer who reshaped Asian tennis and conquered the Australian Open stage herself, speaks highly of a young player, the tennis world listens more carefully. Recently, Li Na's words found their way to Alexandra Eala, a rising star whose journey is still being written but already sparkles with promise. In her praise, Li Na did more than compliment talent. She offered a quiet endorsement of the future. Li Na knows what it means to walk onto Melbourne Park with expectations pressing against your shoulders like summer heat. She knows the loneliness of the baseline, the courage it takes to swing freely when millions are watching, and the mental resilience required to survive tennis's longest rallies. That is why her praise of Eala feels less like flattery and more like a passing of the torch. A champion who changed the narrative. Li Na's legacy is inseparable from the Australian Open. Her victory there was not just personal, it was historic. She became a symbol of possibility, proving that players from non-traditional tennis powers could rise, compete, and win on the sport's biggest stages. Her style was fearless, her personality refreshingly honest, and her success inspired an entire generation across Asia. So when Li Na observes Alexandra Eala, she sees more than a teenager with solid groundstrokes. She sees courage. She sees discipline. She sees a player who understands that tennis greatness is built point by point, not headline by headline. Li Na has reportedly admired Eala's composure, how she competes with maturity beyond her years, how she adapts rather than panics, and how she carries herself with quiet confidence. These qualities, Li Na suggests, matter just as much as raw power or speed. Alexandra Eala, a story still unfolding. Alexandra Eala's journey is one shaped by ambition and patience. She represents a new wave of players who grow up in a global tennis ecosystem, training across continents, learning from diverse coaching philosophies, and competing against international peers from an early age. What sets Eala apart is not just her technical ability, but her mindset. She plays with intent, understanding that every match is a lesson. Her left-handed game gives her a natural edge, but it is her mental clarity that truly stands out. She doesn't rush her moments. She waits for them. Li Na's praise highlights this exact quality. According to her, Eala plays smart tennis, a phrase that may sound simple but carries deep meaning. Smart tennis is about knowing when to attack and when to defend, when to be patient and when to be bold. It is the kind of tennis that survives pressure, heat, and long three-set battles at Grand Slams. The Australian Open, a test of mind and body. The Australian Open is often called the Happy Slam, but seasoned players know it is one of the toughest tournaments in the world. The heat tests endurance, the crowd demands entertainment, and the early season timing challenges players still finding their rhythm. Li Na understands this better than most. Her success in Melbourne was built not just on physical preparation, but on emotional resilience. She has hinted that players who do well at the Australian Open must embrace discomfort rather than fight it. When making her prediction, Li Na does not focus solely on rankings or recent results. Instead, she emphasizes adaptability. She believes the tournament will favor players who can adjust to conditions quickly, manage their energy wisely, and stay mentally flexible. The prediction rooted in experience. Li Na's Australian Open prediction reflects both realism and optimism. She expects established stars to dominate the later rounds, but she also predicts breakthroughs, moments when younger players seize their opportunity under the bright Melbourne sun. Regarding Alexandra Eala, Li Na stops short of bold promises but offers something more meaningful: belief. She suggests that Eala may not yet be a title contender, but she is absolutely capable of making a deep, confidence-building run. A surprise victory. A statement match. A performance that announces her arrival to a wider audience. For Li Na, that is how champions begin, not by winning everything at once, but by proving to themselves that they belong. When praise becomes possibility. In sports, words can shape futures. Praise from a legend like Li Na doesn't add pressure, it adds perspective. It reminds young players that growth is a journey, not a race. That greatness is not rushed, but earned through resilience, humility, and hard work. Alexandra Eala now carries that praise quietly, like a note tucked into her tennis bag. A reminder that someone who has conquered the sport's biggest stages sees something special in her. As the Australian Open approaches, fans will watch the familiar stars and the emerging talents with equal curiosity. Somewhere among them, Eala will step onto the court, guided by her own dreams and encouraged by the voice of a champion who once stood exactly where she hopes to stand. And perhaps that is Li Na's greatest prediction of all, not just who will win matches, but who will shape the future of tennis itself.